Hello everybody, welcome back to my channel, welcome back to another disturbing movie breakdown, and today's video is all about the 2023 Argentinian horror movie When Evil Lurks. That is right, this movie, spoilers, I've seen a few times before rewatching for this video, and I absolutely love it. So I'm very excited to be talking about this movie with you guys. So if you want to know what the movie's about before we get into spoilers, here is my Margaritelli spoiler-free roundup. So When Evil Lurks follows a small town in Argentina becomes infected by this strange disease that turns people violent, and it follows a family as they attempt to escape with their lives. That is all I can say without it teetering on to like disturbing movie breakdown level spoilers. But yeah, that's what you find out very early on in the movie. That's what you're getting from me. So like I said, you would think that I would know more how to do these non-spoiler synopsises better, but I don't. But anyway, that sounds like it's up your street, but you don't want spoilers. Go and watch it right now and then come back to me. It's on Shudder. You can get the awesome Blu-ray version, the 4K version coming out as well later this month, which I'm very excited about to have in my possession. But yes, let's go to the disturbing movie breakdown for When Evil Lurks. So, as I mentioned, it's about this disease that spreads to people that makes them very violent. And oh boy, oh boy, does it turn people violent. Now, when I first saw it, I had no idea about anything to do with this movie, and I was gobsmacked. I couldn't believe what I was watching and what I was seeing. It left my jaw on the floor. And then when I did a bit more reading up about it, the director, Damien Rugner, he did one of my favourite movies in Terrified. And instantly I was like, okay, this makes sense. It's a very similar tonal movie, very scary, great effects, and yeah. So then I rewatched it again, loved it still, and now rewatching it for this time, it's a very good, well-made movie. Let's break it down. So I have my script here. If you see me look over here, that's why, especially since this is a foreign movie. Obviously, names and stuff, I really want to try and get right and pronounce correctly for you. So if you see me look over here quite a bit, that's why. Okay. This movie, as I said, is all about like a virus, so to speak, that attaches onto people. And these people in the movie are called Rotten. And they are kind of like just cells and husks of their former self. These people are infected, and we meet very early on a Rotten who is just like leaking and is essentially rotting to its core. Our main two characters, brothers Pedro and Jamie, they go to this farm where they see this Rotten and can't believe their eyes that the Rotten is still there, because this is something that's been going on a while in this movie's backdrop of it. Doesn't really give you too much details about like how long it's been going on for, but people are aware of it. People know there's people that go there that called a cleaner that will go and are specially trained to kind of cleanse these Rottens out of cleanse these rotten people, in doing so believing that it would stop the spread, because once you kill someone which is infected, it's very infectious and it will just keep spreading to different people. So it's very much, people are keeping it under wraps. When someone is like this, you need to call someone in to deal with them. There's a bit with the police as well later on in the movie where they're very much like, it's not our jurisdiction, we don't touch these people. So it's definitely very early on, and you realize kind of, okay, what the world is being built like, and the fact that people have different areas and different sections to help contain this infection. They believe the Rotten, is someone that is possessed by an unborn demon that will wait till the body is gone and then will kind of hatch out of them. That cleaner never got to its destination. We find his body ripped apart. So yeah, these boys are stuck with this body and this person that they know they should not be touching and dealing with, but they got no other option. So they get into contact with Ruiz, who is like, I would call like the landlord. It's the person that owns the shack that this body is in, and he demands that they remove him from the land. But he falls off the truck. His body falls off the truck, and yeah, it's not there anymore. So in doing so, moving it, they've spread it and they've unleashed it, which Ruiz will come to know very soon when he gets home. He's there with his wife. They're on like a farm, and the wife is screaming and is very upset, saying that one of the sheep is the demon. One of the sheep is infected. And there's a moment where he comes out with his gun and he kind of puts it towards the animal's head, and the animal just steps into it. Like he's just staring him down, and it's a tense moment, and he's begging him not to shoot, because obviously you know what happens when you do that, it will spread. But he does it anyway, and he blows the head off of this goat, sheep, whatever it is. And I mean, yeah, he blows the head off of this animal. And yeah, you think, okay, it's all quiet, what's gonna happen now? And then the wife, who has become possessed with the infection, has a axe, murders Ruiz, and then there's this scene where she is just hammering her face into the axe, and there's a great moment where she is getting weaker and weaker, and you can see her body just hit into the axe until eventually she just flops because she's dead. And that's the scene, and everyone, you're just sat there like, okay, so this movie's going there. This movie is going to show you everything in great detail. And this isn't that far into the movie. It's not like I've just told you something that happens in like half hour into the movie. This is relatively early on in the movie. So you know that this movie is going to go down and going to go crazy. Oh boy, is there so much more to come. Back with our two main protagonists, Pedro and Jamie. They are awoken, they are interrupted at their home by a boy. So I said earlier on about the rotten that they move. Well, the boy lived there with them, and he basically has come to say that he's found Ruiz and his wife dead. So he's there to basically say, look, you move this body, the person that moved the body is dead, things are going down, and they kind of keep him and lock him away in like their barn area. It's because when I first watched this, I was a bit confused because he's kind of then forgotten about until like later on in the movie. But it's because he was obviously around this body for so long, it's very difficult to trust. There's a lot of distrust in this movie, and they just don't trust him. So especially the fact that he's come to say that he found these two bodies dead, these two people dead, they're very much like, okay, you stay away from us where we know where you are at all times. So that's why I believe they keep him away and they lock him away. But they're panicking now, so they go to grab their family. So they kind of split up, and Jamie goes and gets their mother, and Pedro goes to his ex-wife's house to get his children. He's got two sons, and his ex-wife and her new partner have a little girl. And this is probably what I would say one of the scenes of the movie. I think if you were telling people like shocking moments, this scene is probably up there. So he barges in, he's getting naked, taking his clothes off, trying to get any infection off of him. He's screaming and shouting, saying everyone needs to come with him. It's all very, very tense. One of the sons is autistic, so he's kind of up in the bed, not moving. So it's all very sensory overload. Everyone's screaming and shouting. And it like pulls back to the little girl who's kind of just like sat there watching, taking everything in, and it also pulls back to this dog that sat next to her, and the dog kind of turns and looks at the girl, and the girl looks at the dog, and then bang, the dog just grabs hold of her and just mauls her, and I mean mauls her. Like, it's unbelievable. She's flapping around, she's blood's going everywhere, she's banging, everyone's going crazy, they're running after the dog, trying to pull the dog off. There's a scene where it kind of goes underneath the table and you see like the little girl's body like being ragdolled to hell, and he runs out of the house with the girl, and it's insane. It goes by, it's so sudden, and it's such a vicious attack that it takes you by such surprise, and it's just like you can't believe what you're watching, because notoriously movies don't touch kids. Horror movies don't really touch kids, and that's why when they do, it's such a big moment and a big deal in movies, because it's like they're the forbidden fruit, so to speak, and there's kids getting fucking ragdolled around, my god. But yeah, that's happening. So the dog got possessed, that's happened. Everyone's screaming, and you know, the mum is screaming and crying. Jamie turns up in the car with the mother. So Pedro is like grabbing the kids, goes up and grabs his son from upstairs and grabs the other little boy and kind of runs in and gets him in. He's begging to the ex-wife to come with him, but she won't listen. The little girl is kind of like comes back to the mum, and she's fine. There's not a mark on her, nothing. So instantly you're like, okay, this is not going to go well for the mum. And whilst that's happening, the mother's new partner kills the dog with a gun, which we know, gun mixed with killing things makes it spread. He then gets affected, and oh my god, just everything happens so quickly and abruptly that it just shocks you so much more than if it was like a long build up. He just mows into the mother. The mother just gets absolutely obliterated with the car. It goes just straight through into like the window of the house, and yeah, it just absolutely splatters her. All hell is breaking loose with that. Whilst that's going on, the two boys are like, fuck this, we got our family, let's get out of here. So they escape and they drive away. So whilst they're driving, they're trying to find a place to set up shop and just keep themselves safe. So Jamie takes them to I would say, like, I don't know whether I can't remember if they kind of say it's like a love interest. I feel like there's something there, but an old acquaintance of Jamie's called Myrta, who is revealed herself to be a former cleaner. So she is like their stop, their port of call to get help, somewhere safe, someone that knows what they're doing, and yeah, just trying to calm down from the craziness of the shit that's just happened. And whilst they're there, Myrta confides in Jamie, and it believes that the son is not autistic, the son is possessed, which is presenting itself as autistic tendencies. They're very quick to, the boys are very quick to shut that down and be like, no, we know Jair, we know him, he's fine, this is just what he's like. But Myrta's not so sure about that boy, and that's an important thing to keep coming to later on. So they shut up shop. The boys are sleeping upstairs with the grandmother, and the possessed mother that got absolutely pancaked earlier arrives, takes the little boy, and yeah, just takes him, just walks away. And they find out, and Pedro is screaming, he wants to go and get him, but nope, Jamie is the one that's going to do it, because Jamie is going to be a lot more impartial. He's not going to have the same level as attachment to this as the dad would. So he goes, and there's a fantastic scene where he is driving down the road and he can spot the mother walking down the road, and he doesn't want to show himself to her, so he's flicking the like the headlamps on every so often, and each time they do it, it illuminates her, and as he's getting closer, you see more and more blood, and you hear these horrific noises, and it's not until it kind of drives past her that you realize what he's doing, and she's using her youngest son's head as a popcorn bucket. She's eating his brains as she's walking, and he's just flapping around with no hair, with like no skull, just being absolutely munched on by his mother. And it's so horrific and disgusting because, again, that is not something you would expect to see. You would, as you're driving past, you're thinking, what are we going to see? But you never think he's going to be eating his brain like popcorn. So that in itself just makes you think like, oh my god, what the hell is going on? And the way, mixing that in with the way that they show it with the lights flashing, it's such a good way to show such a horrific scene, and it's fantastic, and one of my favorite reveals in a recent horror movie, because yeah, there's everything with it, the tension, the slowness of it, the way the lights hitting her, and then like the noise, and then it kind of pans out. It's such a great scene. Jamie is freaking out. He absolutely mows into the mother, slams her into a tree. She kind of comes through the window, and yeah, she's like bleeding out of her brain, all of this shit. She's saying and taunting Jamie, leading to believe that, you now start to think that Jamie and her had something going on, had an affair. Maybe one of the kids is his and not Pedro's. So it's all very, very tense, and yeah, he just mows her down. And again, very, very vicious, very, very violent, and very, very very rewarding as well to watch. So while that's happening and he's having to deal with his nephew being eaten alive like a popcorn bucket, Pedro and Myrta go to take care of this of the little rotten and try and figure out what's going on and how they can halt this demon from being given birth. They go towards a school where they find all of these children who are possessed, and we find that they are concealing the body of the rotten, the body of Uriel, who is the one that is ready to give birth to this demon. And again, with kids, you don't think what's gonna happen happens, and Pedro, they're lying to him, they're messing around with him, they're very much like, he's there, and then they'll laugh and be like, no, he's not, I lied. So Pedro's had enough and like just beats the shit out of this kid like properly, like slammed the door in her face. And yeah, it's like, oh my god, he means business, he's had enough, he wants to know what's going on. So he finds out, yes, they're concealing the body. The body is in the actual school area, kind of like underneath boards, and it's being hidden with other dead bodies. Off they go. They go to find this body. And whilst this is happening, and they're ripping out the floorboards to get this corpse out of there, Myrta is reiterating to Pedro that you need to do what I say, you need to listen to me, you need to think clearly, don't let these people get in your head, because these kids are going to say and do anything to get you to leave this body alone so it can give birth to the demon. So he's like, I know what I'm doing, yada yada yada. So you think, okay, we're gonna get this sorted, I have faith in these two. But then he does the most stupidest thing. He listens to one of the kids. So one of the kids is saying that there is a tool, there's an axe in one of the classrooms, like one of the rooms, that will help you get to the body quicker. So he goes. We all know that that's a lie, and it's to get Myrta alone. But he goes anyway. Myrta's screaming at him, you bloody idiot, yada yada yada. He goes, and then lo and behold, he gets locked into the room. And Myrta just kind of sits there, and she realizes she's done for. She's doomed, and just beat the shit out of her, I believe, with the instrument. And then like there's like a hammer, and there's like close-up shots of like her skull being beaten in, and it's disgusting. It's hard to watch. It makes me cringe. Anything where like your body caves inwards, oh, it really does make me very, very awkward. So Murta's gone, Murta's dead, they're stuck now. They failed their mission. They're stuck with this body. Pedro just completely fucked it up at the last minute, which again is something I see a lot of criticism of with regards to this movie. If you were looking at negative reviews, a lot of times people will say that these guys are so thick and stupid and it hinders the enjoyment out of it. I can kind of understand where they come from. I have so much enjoyment with the whole movie that I can kind of look past the idiocy. But yeah, I can kind of see how actually this can ruin the movie for you, because it's very much like, dude, you've just seen what's happened through all of this movie. You're literally with someone that knows what they're doing, and she's telling you don't listen to what this girls are saying, and what does he do instantly? He listens and does it. So it's kind of it's kind of stupid, but as I say, I can kind of let it slide because I have such fun with the rest of the movie. Pedro gets free. He's fuming, he's angry, he's sad, he's defeated. So he gets to the corpse in the end and he beats him to death. He kills it. There's a scene as well where he kind of like slams the head in, and he's killed it, but you know that's not going to be the end of it. And lo and behold, this little human is birthed out of him, out of this corpse, out of Uriel, and kind of stands up. And as he's walking away, he's covered in blood, naked, as this little kid is walking away with the other kids, he puts his hand up onto Pedro's head and what I would say marks him. Just has a smear of blood on his forehead and marks him, and there we go. They go on into the sunset, and that's it. That's the last we see of the kids. That's the last we see of this demon that's been born. Again, kind of open-ended, but yeah, now that's been unleashed. Okay, so that's unleashed. So Pedro kind of fucked. So Pedro defeated, goes back home. Jamie gets there. Obviously, no kid. Very, very sad. They're distraught. They're very, very sad. And while this is all happening, Jair was left with the grandmother. And while it's kind of cutting back and forth, he was actually speaking fine. He was not being his usual self. And they kind of go in to see him, and there's no mother. There's no grandmother. And he's eating this ice cream and he's coughing and he's choking, and they're trying to get him to calm down. He's choking, and like stuff is coming out of his mouth, so they can like pull it out of his mouth, and lo and behold, it's hair mixed in with a necklace, which is the grandmother. You see the grandmother's necklace, wear it throughout the movie. He's eaten the grandmother, so this kid always was infected, at least that's what I believe. So Murta was right again, and yeah, he ate the grandmother, and that's how it ends. Pedro just walks outside and cries, and that's the end of the movie. Literally, that is the end of the movie. So yeah, this movie is hard to watch. It's very graphic and it's very bleak. There are some moments that undercut the disturbingness of it with regards to people being kind of dumb. And I think as well, it's more supernatural. So that sort of stuff doesn't disturb me as much as something that could happen in real life. But it's still hard to watch, especially the scenes with the kids, especially Popcorn Head. He was stuck in my mind for a while, literally. So yeah, happy to say that if you want a disturbing movie that's also gory, this is your movie for you, because we've had some movies that are disturbing but not very gory. This one is both. This one's got both for you. So for my disturbing meter, I'm going to give this a 7.5 out of 10, because the actual story of it is very, very bleak. The fact that these people are dying in such horrific ways. It's all very sudden as well, and it just ends on such a defeated note. It's high up there in the disturbing ranking, that's for sure. But what did you guys think of that movie? Have you seen it before? Do you enjoy it? It's on Shudder, so make sure you check it out on there. I'm a big, strong believer that people should watch this, especially if you're into like your graphic movies, because this is good. This is a good graphic movie with some great effects. And yeah, I just really get a kick out of it. Let me know in the comments down below what other movies you want to see me cover on this channel. Make sure you follow me as well on all these socials, the place to be for all things movies and movie collecting. Thank you so much for watching. Make sure you give this video a thumbs up and subscribe so you don't miss an upload. We're doing fantastically well lately and it means the world to me. So thank you for everyone that's been tuning in and been watching and commenting and sharing, all that jazz. It means the world to me. So thank you much for watching. I will see you next time with another disturbing movie breakdown. Ciao, ciao. Goodbye for now.